Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I'm Patti and I make gnomes and I make miniature props. If you like that kind of stuff, be sure and subscribe. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little lifeguard chair. It measures 12 inches by 5 inches by 6 inches. If you want to know how to make it, stick around. I'll show you how. Okay guys, for the lifeguard chair, you're going to need some jumbo sticks, popsicle sticks. You need some medium popsicle sticks. You're going to need some 3/8 inch dowel rods. You're going to need some 1/4 inch dowel rods. You're going to need a couple of wooden loops. And you're going to need plenty of them. Let's get started. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to build the base of the chair. We're going to take 5 of the bigger popsicle sticks together. And we are going to brace them with the little popsicle sticks. Just going to come right down in the middle because we don't want to put too much at the top and the bottom, because we're going to cut these into 3.5 inches in length. So go ahead and glue that down, put that aside, and then we're going to go ahead and make the chair back. We're going to take 5 popsicles also, and if you have a grid like I'm doing there, you can just kind of space them where they kind of angle down a little bit. And it doesn't matter if it's perfect, because we are going to cut the bottom off. We are going to brace it, 2 of them closer to the top, because we're going to have to leave space later to put the armrest for the chair. So go ahead and get those glued in like that. And then we're going to go ahead and measure. We're going to go ahead and cut off the top. Go draw across the top to get it even up there. And then we're going to measure 3.5 inches down from that line and mark it. And we're going to do that for both sides. And then we're going to draw a line across it. And that's going to be our cutting line. If you have a saw, it's really easy. Just cut it, take it and cut it off. We're going to take this one and we're going to go all the way down to 5 inches. And then we're going to make our line straight across there. And that's going to be our cutting line. Okay, I'm going to take these out to my saw. I'm going to cut them off. Then I forgot the tabs. I'm going to come back out and cut the tabs off. And there you have it. You're going to take a 3/8 inch dowel, cut it to 3.5 inches. And we're going to put that on the back part of the bottom of the chair. Just glue it on, and then we're going to attach the back part of the chair to that piece there. Just put a little bit of glue across there, and then glue that on. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and take those, and we're going to turn them over, and we're going to add our 2.5 inch, 1/4 inch dowels, and we're just going to center them all along the bottom edges. And this is what the edge of our base is going to attach to. So you're going to take them and just glue them. Make sure that they're kind of centered in the front and centered on the side. And glue those down. And then we're going to cover up the sides to kind of make it into like a framed in area. And I actually cut one piece already, but I'll show you how to do the rest. That one I cut it just 1/8 inch over 3.5 inches. And just going to glue that on the edge and across the bottom. And then hold that down. This chair really does stay together well. So just make sure that's glued in good. And then on the other side, we're going to take our short popsicle stick, cut off the end to give it a flush finish. And then we're just going to measure and cut that off. You want to measure yours because you may be using a different popsicle than I am. But you want to just go ahead and cut that off, and we're going to glue that down to the sides as well. Just get along the top edge, and then that brace, and then glue that on. Then we're going to go back across the front, and we're going to measure across there because we do want to cover up the edges of the 2 that we just glued onto the side. You may have to do a little bit trimming as you go along, but scissors will trim those real easy. Go ahead and measure that across the top. Draw a line along the bottom edge right next to the other piece of wood, and then just trim that off. And that's going to be the front part of our chair. Just make sure you get it measured. Measure twice, cut once. But you want to just make sure it's covered up good. Alright, then go ahead and glue across that. Glue across the top part edge and down the 2 sides. And then we're going to turn it over and we're going to do the same thing for the back. And this will be our main chair base. Just cut that tip off so you can start with an edge. Mark your edge and trim it off. And then we're just going to glue that in. And then just hold that till it dries real good. Alright, next we're going to add our legs. And I have two that are cut at an angle, and the top angle and the bottom angle are angled exactly the same. I just did about a 7-degree angle. And if you don't have a saw, you can just sand it at an angle, and I'll show you how that's going to go. We're going to attach our two shorter rods to the back, and these are 3/8" square dowels. We're just going to stand those straight up, make sure they're parallel, and glue those into each corner. And let that dry. Then we're going to take the ones at the angle, and you'll see that we're going to angle that out like that. So the part that is angled, the taller part of the angle goes up. And just angle those out. If you don't have a saw, you can sand a little bit of an angle, but I mean, it is just a minute angle. It's like 7%. And you could probably get away with just even cutting straight legs and just gluing them, you know, kind of adding a lot of glue and then bending them forward. But just make sure that you bend both of them exactly the same. Just a little bit of an angle to give it a little bit of a sturdier chair. And then just make sure those legs are the same. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and start attaching our arms. We're going to take two of the shorter sticks, glue those together. And we're going to do another set, and these are going to be our arms. And we are going to make our arms and attach them to the top part of the chair. And you want to go ahead and cut these out at like 2 1/4 inches in length. Get rid of the ends because we want them to be smooth. And I did go cut these at my saw, but you could use your scissors and cut those ahead of time, both of them, at 2 1/4 inches, and then just glue them together. I didn't think about doing that until after I'd already glued them together. So 2 1/4 inches is how long those are going to be. And then draw your line straight across so you make sure that your cuts are right. And I use my little grid to make sure that I line them up good, and then I cut them off. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and attach them to the chair. And I put them probably about 3/4 inch in, and then glued them in. Just take a mark, like a pencil, and mark that spot at 3/4 inch. And that's where we're going to attach our arms. Just add a little bit of glue right there. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other side. And you want to glue them in the same space so that they look symmetrical when you get done. Alright, now we're going to put our brace across the back that's going to join up with these. And then just put your arm on there and make sure it's straight. Get your mark straight. And then mark one side, and then do the same thing with the other side. Just in case you didn't get it exactly even, check your mark. Make sure it's straight, and then draw that. And then we're going to go ahead and attach that to the back. And that's what our armrests are going to attach to. That's the bigger popsicle stick that we added to the back. And then we're using the bigger popsicle sticks to add the arms to the top of the chair. Just measure those, make sure that they're straight and even. I'm just going to kind of put those right up against the edge of where the seat is, mark them. And then I'm going to mark them both exactly the same, and then I'm going to trim those off. And that's the bigger of the two of the popsicle sticks. Just trim that off at that line, and then we are going to glue that onto the top part of our arms, and we're just going to glue that on. You can see how far about mine are just coming over the edge of the chair just a little bit. And you can customize this chair however you want. This is just a base pattern. But make sure that you glue it good. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and snip the back part of that off, flush with the arm. And then we're going to go start doing the back. Take the popsicle sticks, the big ones, and we're just going to do an X along the back. And then just make sure this one is going to be in the same location. Just kind of look at it and then glue that in. Glue it in the middle. And then glue it down on the edge. This is just for decor. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and start building our sides. I came down 1 3/8 of an inch. And that's where I put my big popsicle stick to start building the stairs. So you take the big popsicle stick, go to the edge of the back leg, and then glue those down. And you're going to do the same thing for both sides. Just make sure that that end of that popsicle stick goes to the edge of the back and goes forward. If you don't push it too forward, you won't have enough room to put the steps on. And then I'm going to do the same thing for both sides. Just make sure that they're even on both sides. It was like 1 3/8 is what I did. I'm just going to make sure that it's level before I glue that on. Alright, then when you get that glued on, we're going to take the shorter popsicle sticks, 3 of them. Just making sure that they did go 3 on there. And then we're going to just brace them. We're going to put 3 together. We're going to just make sure that yours are not beveled. Like that one was bowed. I threw that off and got another one. We're just going to take the little popsicle stick and we're just going to cut a little piece off of it and glue that on the back. You don't want it hanging over the front, so kind of go away from the edge a little bit on the curved end. And then make sure they're the same. And then just kind of put those on, glue them on. Make sure you check and make sure where your legs are, because you don't want this to sit on top of the leg. You want to set it next to, let it set next to the leg that's sticking out from the chair. Alright, then we're going to put that on there, and we're going to glue it on. We're just going to add a little bit of glue to the top part of each of those legs that are sticking out, and then glue that right down to it. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and turn it to the side, and we're going to add our next step. And you can put this pretty much wherever you want to. I just came down a little bit, you know, probably halfway between the bottom leg and the top leg. And just glued that down because we're going to do some more steps. I think I came down like 1.5 inches on both sides. And then just make sure whatever you do on one side, you do the same thing on the other side because you need those to be even. And these are the big popsicle sticks that we're putting on the legs for the stairs. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and add stairs to these. We're going to take 3 of the little popsicle sticks and do the same thing. Stick those together. Cut off a piece of, another piece of little popsicle stick with the curved side. And the curved side is going to be facing outward when you put that step on. So that you have a nice edge if somebody was looking forward at it. And I'm just lining these up on my grid to make sure that they're even. And just adding that little popsicle stick just to brace it. And then we're going to glue that to those legs. Just put a little bit of glue on the top of each of those legs. And glue that down. Okay, then I came in here and I just added a short leg on here. And I trimmed it off at an angle. Just draw your angle off of your leg. And I missed my mark on that a little bit. And so I had to go back and do a little bit more angle. And then just glue that down. And then do the same thing for the other side. Just put it up there, draw your angle underneath, and then cut that off, and then glue it down. Alright, next I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to paint it with Valspar flat white paint. I'm going to paint my 2 life preservers too white. Just get it good and painted. You can use any kind of paint you want. You can use any color you want. I mean, there's a lot of different colors of lifeguard chairs, but since I am putting a gnome in it that has on a red suit, I did go with white. So, just paint it, get it painted good and all over the place. The inside of it, the back, the outside of it. Just get it a good coat of paint, and if you want 2 coats, I just, looks like I'm doing it all in one step, but I'm not. I am letting it dry between coats. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my string. I got some 12-inch string, and I'm just going to wrap that around to make it look like a life preserver. And I'm going to do it at 4 places around here. Just wrap it around there, glue it down, and then go right next to it. So in 4 places. You want to make sure it's even too. We're just going to do that to both of them, and we're going to put those on our chair. Just keep wrapping that around and glue it off. Again, those are 12-inch pieces of string, red string. And if you have red tape, you can use red tape. You use whatever you want to. And if you want bigger life preservers, this is the biggest ones I could find at the time. So that's what I'm going to use. All right, and then we're going to wrap up this one here, and we're going to go ahead and attach them to our chair. I just came down to the second rung, put a little glue along the top, glued it on, did the same thing for both sides. Just glue it on there so it stays on there. All right, cute little miniature lifeguard chair. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to see future videos, hit subscribe. And if you want to be notified when I have another video, hit the bell. Thanks for watching.